So as Xavier outlined, it's important to note that the U.S. and Cuban governments have cast strong doubt on this report. With that being said, Joel, what do you make of the timing here?
Well, look, it's Kelly, to be honest, it's not clear what's going on exactly. But one thing is certain: if China were to have this base and were to have the ability to listen in into Florida, it would pose severe national security problems for the United States. We have military assets in Florida. CENTCOM, the headquarters for our Middle East operations, is in Tampa. That has liaison operations with practically every allied government in the world. For China to be able to listen in there would be very problematic. So I'm glad this is out, that there's a watchful eye on this. It doesn't surprise me at all that China and Cuba are getting closer, in particular because the United States, we kind of walked away under Donald Trump of the ability to engage Cuba. That was started under President Obama, and now we're seeing the results of that, which is very dangerous.
All right, so Tracy, what would the U.S. stand to gain by this so-called eavesdropping facility? Specifically, what intel would be helpful for them, do you think?
Well, thank you for having me, Kelly. Look, I think that there's several things. It's most likely electronic communications, or ELINT. That's what we call that. And really, they're trying to get proximity. It's a lot easier to collect ELINT. My guess is they're most likely looking, as Joel stated, at our military bases. You have CENTCOM in Tampa, but then you also have Fort Bragg, which is up in North Carolina, and that's also a sensitive military base as well. So they're primarily trying to get ELINT in that southeastern portion of the United States. And they've actually tried to do this before, back in 2017, when they tried to purchase land in Washington, D.C. under the auspices of creating an arboretum. They were most likely trying to set up a listening post, and that purchase was stopped by Congress. So really, proximity is key here. They're trying to get our ship movements and as well as that electronic communications.
So, Joel, obviously the world is watching how the U.S. is going to react. At what point do we say, you can't do this?
Well, we can't tell a sovereign country, Cuba, to tell China not to. We can communicate that and protest and propose alternatives. The problem with our Cuba policy right now is that we've been isolating Cuba for more than 6 decades and have not yet seen the regime there collapse and have very minimal influence and leverage. China is doing this around the world. It's worth noting this as well, that China is seeking strategic assets across the globe in multiple areas and ocean areas for maintaining shipping lane fluidity, for listening posts, going in, providing significant sums of money to local governments at low interest loans from their perspective, but high interest really in terms of payback. And then these countries can pay it back, and China then takes a chunk of that territory. So this is a broader problem as well. Certainly, if accurate, the U.S. can protest aggressively and publicly clamor about it as well, but we have minimal leverage to actually stop it.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So, Tracy, as Joel mentioned, this isn't an act all by itself, and it's eliciting comparisons now to the Cuban Missile Crisis when the Soviets put missiles in Cuba. What do you believe these potential moves signal, and should we be concerned about a potential standoff with China?
Look, I've vacillated back and forth as to whether or not I think we are moving into a Cold War with China. But part of me wonders if a lot of this is about Cuba. And really what they want is a full rollback of those Trump-era travel restrictions that Joel was talking about. They've been partially rolled back, but I don't believe that that's, enough for them. And I understand that. But I think when we look at China, part of it is in response to some of the things that we're doing. We've expanded our military bases in the Philippines. We've been caught having our spy planes over the South China Sea. And so a lot of this is what I like to call tit for tat diplomacy. And that's what they're doing. They get upset with us for movements that we're making, and then we retaliate back on them. And so, look, I think that this has been going on really for decades, but we are seeing an increase really in the active measures and the aggressive nature of what China's doing.
All right, Joel, Rubin, Tracy Walder, thank you so much. Great conversation.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.